Hello and welcome. As we're starting this, this whole week of starting into wargaming, I'm going to be covering the E-Man-G case as well. I'm going to be doing 2 separate videos a day, one for getting started into wargaming, and the other for this case. And I'm going to go through it bit by bit. I'm going to try and avoid any way I can dox people, so any form of information which would be on there is going to be basically removed, and I want to go through this. So when this conversation comes up, and it will, I want you guys to be more informed than anyone else. And just so you know, this is the Copyright Claims Board, which is where it was filed. This is the actual claim by GW against E-Man-G or Gissemi, and this is their description of the infringement. So this is the first time. This video is going to be about 10 minutes long, but this is going to be the claim itself. The respondent uploaded electronic computer files for distribution on the platform Cult3D. Those files contain 3D models of works copyrighted by the claimant. The respondent extracted those 3D models from the claimant's computer game, Total Warhammer, and converted them into file formats utilized by 3D printers. Simultaneously, the respondent maintains an account on patreon.com where users have the option to subscribe to his profile for a monthly fee of $8, and respondent subscribers receive access to basically the same files as on Cult3D, but with additional structural support. It is important to note that without the fitting support structure, prints created from the files on Cult3D are not suitable to create replicas of copyrighted works, as they would collapse during the printing process. The files on Patreon allow directly print exact replicas of copyrighted works of the claimant. The respondent shows the 3D print subscribers can achieve with his help on Instagram. He advertises his Patreon on Cult3D and vice versa. A comparison of the copyrighted work and 3D models created and owned by the claimant and 3D models as resulting enabled by respondent are attached here too as an exhibit. F4. Copies of registration certificates are attached as Exhibit 5, both distribution and copyrighted 3D models of Cult3D and distribution of print-ready 3D models behind the paywall on Patreon each constitute infringing activity. The claimant brought this activity to the attention of Patreon via DMCA. The notice of respondent of copy, which is attached here to as Exhibit 6, shows willfulness of respondent's actions as he asserts the distribution of copyright material is not illegal if done for free. He ignores the fact that A, this is not relevant, and B, it was himself who made the 3D models for free to download on 3D.com. Cult3D. A cease and desist letter addressing respondent's activity, of which is attached here to as exhibit, was served by email 10th of July and via FedEx on July the 13th. The respondent did not take action or respond upon services made. Description of harm suffered. The copyrighted work retails for amounts of between $100 and several hundred US dollars. The 3D printing has had a significant impact on all forms of intellectual property. Respondent's actions amplify the damages caused by this technology, and he does so for profit. In August, the respondent had more than 1,000 subscribers. Currently, he has 877, with numbers rising around 15 to 25 on a daily basis. His monthly earnings per subscriber are $6.60. The respondent is currently 57th in the most successful Patreon creator worldwide, the 3D printing category, and 2,427th overall, out of a total of 228,000 creators. We estimate the harm done by respondent's action through his activities on Patreon alone exceed the maximum amount claimant can ask for. However, we must consider earnings from direct sales or of prints made by respondent, as well as sales on Etsy, where the respondent sold prints for $65. The claimant seeks maximum amount of $30,000. Right, yeah. So, hey, there is a lot to go here. This is just the claim from GW. So first things first, this is more, I'll go to the top of this one actually, because I was already looking for this. E-Man-G gameplay, this is his Instagram. Are these models from Total Warhammer? E-Man-G gameplay, yes. Well, how did you make them printable? are these sculpted from scratch or based Total Warhammer ripped files? The latter. And this is for those with a 3D printer. Eman-G on Cults 3D has a ton of units from Total Warhammer available as STL files. You're looking for Eman-G. He's on both Cults 3D and Thingiverse, and has more stuff on Cults where his page. He's mostly as Skaven and Green Scenes at this point. Additionally, it's not too difficult to figure out how to extract the files yourself. I did myself and put them into a blender, but I stopped pretty soon because I ran out of free time. Right, that is the first one. Let's just delete these. There we go. Eman-G Cults 3D profile. And I was looking at this, and that there is exact for Doom Wheel. That's no different from a Doom Wheel. These are exact replicas of models. These aren't some additions. This is exactly what they are. And anyway, Eman Patreon profile. There you go. Creation pre-supports of his models on Cult 3D. Creating pre-supports of his models on Cult 3D. Comparison of claimants' own Sorry, this one's a bit long. I do apologize. It's not that long, actually. It's like one page. So here we go. This is the Bloodthirster, Games Workshop Bloodthirster. Great Demons of Khorne. That basically is the link for it there. Yeah, I'm saying, but if you're going that these are very different, they really aren't. And yeah, that is definitely going on the. Yeah, this is not looking good for him. But like you see, so they've gone through all this, and this is, like I said, I'm going through all that as well. How about, yeah, these are too familiar. There you go, some more. As you can see, the broken horn on him, and the beard and the broken horn on him. That's the one from. That's from. Yeah, they're almost identical. That's from Total Warhammer, and that's his actual model. There you go. There's that one. Copyright registration certificate. This is really boring. This is basically, hey, look, here it is. That's basically the copyrights one. Okay, that's all that is. Eman-G's response to a DMCA notice. Name removed content information. The point of a contention is issue of IP infringement. This membership was created primarily as a means of supporting the existing mesh objects that were already available for free via their mirror pages on Cults 3D. The models are available through Cults 3D website are free of charge. There are no models available through this Patreon that are not already available. The difference comes in a service in the form of a model support structures. The support structures are useless on their own without the model they are supporting. Each one explained earlier is available for free. The way this is done is via a program known as a Lychee Slicer or by Mango 3D. The claimant does not own the rights to support in methods or algorithms employed by Mango 3D, nor can they claim ownership of objects with very simplistic geometry, or the support that allows the objects to be printed in the first place. The optional nature of its business model allows for those who wish to support my hobby work to do so without alienating those or excluding those that would prefer to support these on their own. Under the penalty of perjury, I have good faith belief that the material was removed as a result of a mistake or misidentification. I consent to the jurisdiction of a federal district court for judicial district in which my address is located. Outside of the US, I consent, but basically, or an agent of that person. Right. Games Workshop cease and desist letter. Here we go. Mr. Kissimmee, we represent Games Workshop Group, a British limited liability company, the Games Workshop in connection with their intellectual property rights. It has come to our attention that you are acting on various online platforms, Etsy, Cult 3D, Patreon, under the account name Eman-G, and are responsible for the infringement of certain registered acts. registered copyrights owned by Games Workshop are not responsible for the infringement. Games Workshop therefore demands that you immediately cease and such infringing activity desist from infringing activity in the future and comply with Games Workshop other requirements set forth in this letter. Now, honestly, I've got to say something because this is the ones, because we got the Bloodthirster, Unclean One, Lord of Change, Cowneck, Fleshhounds, Great Unclean One, Famous of Zinch, Horrors of Zinch, Great Demon of Khorne, Bloodthirster again, Chaos Skulltaker, Haven Hellpit Abomination, Chaos Bloodthirsters of Khorne. Right. Copyright has exclusive rights under US copyrights in these works, which are widely distributed and substantial commercial value to Games Workshop. So basically, therefore, this is basically very really boring stuff. And by the way, can we just say this as well, because they didn't go to court, they went through statutory damages up to 150 for each work where you're willingly infringed. This is if he had gone to court. If they had gone to court over this, it would have been $150,000 for each one. But they went to the Copyright Claims Board, which is $30,000 for each one. Okay? So, therefore, we demand immediately cease and desist from all further production, reproduction, publishing, provision, distribution, transmission, display, performances, and advertising of materials that infringe Games Workshop works through any means, including but not limited to the following websites: Colts 3D, eBay, Etsy, and Patreon. Destroy all such materials in your inventory or otherwise in your possession or control, including all copies in electronic or printed form. Provide Games Workshop with full accounting of materials and copies thereof that allows to reproduce, publish, license, or other distribute the designs or models of Games Workshop and proceeds therefrom. You are specifically advised that any failure or delay in complying with these demands will likely compound damages for which you are liable. We ask you that promptly provide Games Workshop with written confirmation you will comply by these demands. If we do not receive statutory response by close of business on Friday, July the 21st, so 11 days. Yep, 11 days. Games Workshop is prepared to take all steps necessary to protect its valuable intellectual properties. The above is not an exhaustive statement, but of all relevant facts and law. Games Workshop expressly reserves all of its equitable and legal rights and remedies, including the right to seek injunctive relief and recover monetary damages. Screenshot of offerings displayed. Respondents. Here we go. So what's this? Oh yeah, this is the stuff that they're still doing. There we go. He was still doing on August beforehand. Actually, let's just double check that a minute, because I do want to check that, make sure the date was right. It was 2022. No, 2023. Right. So this is 2022 we're on now. Here we go. We got the Bloodthirster. Any chance? The support are quick, thick and many, especially the ones on the back of the Bloodthirster 2. There's a stack of supports. It's building up a solid chunk. It's a necessary precaution. What's the deal with all the parts? I can't seem to figure them out how they differ. The reason they are divided up in this manner is due to Patreon's file size limit. You are only supposed to open part 1 of any of these archives that are divided into sections. You will still need to download all parts are given, otherwise you will not be able to extract the archive properly. This is nature split in volumes. For these models, I love them. Immediately joined Patreon, but I gotta say, what this is files is kind of a mess. BTs with Free's wings don't match the body. There's no way to fit the wings on the model that actually look right. Which wings am I supposed to use on BT3? You must be mistaken. BT right, left, wing left, and BT wing right are meant to connect to BT3 body. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the initial claim, all done and dusted in 15 minutes. And so the thing is, I've got to go back to this one, the Instagram, because the thing is right here. Though that and that are admissions. He's literally admitted it. He did take the files from Total Warhammer, which is what he is being sued over. He was given a cease and desist, which he didn't comply in time. And so this is all the information that you need for the claim at the moment. And maybe, do I have time? Notice of compliance. Let's have a look. Let's see, this is the Copyright Claim Board finds your claim is compliant with statutory and regulatory requirements for bringing a claim, and that it provides respondent enough information to respond to your claim. Finding the claim compliant means that it can move forward, and it does not mean that the CCB agrees with any of the statements you have made or answers that you have given in your claim, including but not limited to whether you have checked the correct boxes for the rights that were allegedly infringed, or whether or not any respondent is an online service provider. It also does not indicate how the CCB will rule your claim. Basically, this is saying, look, they accept it, so the Copyright Claims Board has accepted it. This bit's important because everyone's talking about it going to court. Everyone's talking about how it's, GW's going to court. It's not going to court. It's been to the Copyright Claims Board. It's not going to proceed any further than this. And I do, just to verify this, the last thing here, because I'll bring this up before I finish this video, 4th amended scheduling order, dated the 1st of July 2024. There we go. Pre-discovery discovery conference, which will be happening on the 22nd of this month. Service response to standard interrogatories and production of documents in response to standard request, September the 3rd. And finally, status conference, finally at September the 10th. Wow, but basically that's the actual claim that's been made, and hopefully you're more informed here. So no, there is no soul grinder here. There has been an open admission that he has taken the files from Total Warhammer, and that's it. So you have all the information here, and I hope this helps, because there is a lot more to this. And tomorrow I will be going through the actual response, which is actually his claim response, which was back on January, February, March, April, May the 28th, 2024. So he was sent that way back when. Because I actually can tell you when he was sent this. Direction and compliance and direction to serve. Let me make sure this is the right one. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. Where is it? Proof of service. Yeah. Again, I'm going to have to edit this one. So he was actually sent this in November, but he didn't respond. His response didn't come back until May, as well. So this is information you should know. That this will happen back in November. When it first happened, it was back in November. This is not a new thing. This is an old thing. It's taken him 6 months. It took him 6 months to respond, as well. And so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to do his response tomorrow, so you can hear both sides of the story. And I'll see you all soon. There is a link to Wayland Games down below, as always, if you wish to save money on your Warhammer. And everything else, and there's Mantic down there, there's War Cradle, there's Power Band Grips, it's all down there. You're going to save money on your war gaming either way, and it's free delivery after £20. There is also Forbidden Planet for the for geeky stuff, merchandise, t-shirts, etc, etc, etc. And there is also what else is there? There's also my merchandise, my comics, Skyforge, never forget Skyforge, and Patreon because business. Bye bye.